What's up, YouTube friends? My name is Danny Jones, and welcome to Jones Vibes.
Jones Vibes.
First and foremost, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if you like what you see, go ahead and click subscribe as well as the notification bell. That'll keep you up to date when I make more content. And this week, I'm not gonna lie, we have a little bit of carnage on our hands. That's right, we're talking Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. I saw this movie last night at Alamo Drafthouse, which I think I should just advertise for at this point. I mean, seriously, those theaters are dope. And I had a blast in this movie. But before I really dig into it, I wanted to spend some time and just talk a little bit about Venom. Now, I'm not a huge comic book guy, so my first introduction to the character was actually Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. And Topher Grace played Eddie Brock and then turned into Venom. And it was kinda cool. I feel like his catchphrase should have been, "You can run, but you can't hide." But after that movie, I didn't really think about Venom until Tom Hardy was cast as Venom, and I'm not gonna lie, that piqued my interest a little bit. And so the first movie came out, and I went to the theaters, I saw it, and honestly, I liked this movie enough. I've been a big Riz Ahmed fan since Nightcrawler, and he was the villain in that first movie. And so you have that mixed with Tom Hardy and Venom having this back and forth dialogue. Somehow they make eating people seem okay. And hey, it was fun, it was cheesy, it was a popcorn flick, you know? Not to be compared to Transformers, the #1 popcorn film of all time, but that's a whole nother story. And then at the end of the first movie, there's this big reveal. It's Woody Harrelson, and he's playing Cletus Cassidy. And I even think he said Carnage in the dialogue or something. And everybody was like, ooh, oh, ah. But man, I could just not get over that wig. I mean, look at it. Like, that wig is just so bad. But the sun always comes out tomorrow, and they got him a much better look for this new film. Oh, oops, that's Natural Born Killers. Oh yeah, actually, the wig didn't improve that much, huh? And just to pump the brakes, before we talk about this movie, I just want to let everybody know, this is a full spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, stop right now. But if you have seen the movie, here we go. So, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. And one of the biggest changes in this movie is the change in directors. The first Venom was directed by Ruben Fleischer, and I think he did a pretty good job. But then I heard that this new one is directed by Andy Serkis. And if you don't know him, he's only the best motion capture actor of all time. Really no big deal. He revolutionized the game when he played Gollum in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, and since then he's done a lot of work, most notably as Caesar from Matt Reeves' Planet of the Apes films. So yeah, when I heard he was directing this, I went bananas. But this movie starts out with a little backstory for Cletus Cassidy. And so apparently him and this girl are in love. Nope, that's Natural Born Killers again. It's the girl from Pirates of the Caribbean who says, "Will you sail to the ends of the earth to get Captain Jack?" But yeah, they're in love, and she can scream really loud, which is kind of tight. She screamed so loud at one point that she burst this cop's eardrum, but he shot her. And so yeah, she's in this insane asylum and she's all locked up. But we really do pick up right where we left off. And Eddie just kind of lives with a voice in his head, always at this point, which is pretty normal. All of you have voices in your head, right? Eddie is still in love with Anne, and she's still with Dan. I feel like everybody just has my name. But Cletus keeps contacting Eddie to do a piece on him and all of his serial killer stuff, which I don't really understand. I kill cereal every day. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, what's up? But honestly, one thing to emphasize is that this movie doesn't have a long runtime. It's 96 minutes, I think, and so it speeds through a lot of this stuff. But anyway, since it's so short, you get to the Cletus Cassidy and Carnage stuff pretty quick. Basically, Cletus has Eddie come and visit him, and he ends up biting his finger. So when he bites his finger, he gets a little bit of blood off the side of his mouth, and he looks at it, and since it's a part of Venom, it's moving and squiggling and stuff. And so since he's on death row, they end up trying to put him to death, and when they inject all these shots into him, he's like, "Oh, I'm becoming Carnage." And everybody's like, "Oh, I think he's becoming Carnage." And then he does become Carnage. And he's like, "Bam, bam." And it's pretty sweet, but at this time, Eddie and Venom have kind of gotten so sick of each other that Venom wants to go out on his own. So he ends up hopping from body to body and kind of just killing everybody. You feel bad for those people. And he goes to this club, and he's like, "What's up?" And it's pretty funny because people are like, "I love your costume, dude." Which I feel like totally would have been me just oblivious to my surroundings. But yeah, so at this time, Venom and Eddie are separated. And on the other side of things, Carnage is wreaking havoc and he goes and busts out his girlfriend. But then she screams and Carnage isn't having that. And so you realize that Cletus and Carnage aren't nearly as together as Venom and Eddie are. And at this time, Eddie has been arrested by the cop that plays Babyface Nelson in that Johnny Depp film. That cop ends up being the one who has the hearing aid. So Cletus's girlfriend, Frances, she wants to kill him, Cletus wants to kill Eddie, and Carnage wants to kill Venom. And it's as simple as that. Like I said, it's a short movie. We get to the ending pretty easily, and they call it The Red Wedding, which I was like, Game of Thrones fans, what's up though? Long live the King in the North. And there's this massive set piece action scene that takes you through the end of the film. You have Anne, Dan, Eddie Brock, you have Cletus, you have Frances, Carnage, Venom. Everybody's there, everybody's helping out, everybody's fighting. And I really didn't mind it. I had a great time. And honestly, I'm a huge fan of Tom Hardy. I've always loved this dude. So anytime he's in anything, I will show up, I will be a supporter. And his take on Eddie Brock and him with Venom, it seems to me that he likes playing the character a lot, which makes me enjoy watching it more. Because if it seemed like he just signed on to the studio and was like, yeah, okay, I'll play Venom, it wouldn't be as cool. But he's a producer on this film now, he helped write, and you can see in the interviews about this film, he has a genuine love for the character and a genuine love for this movie. So I thought it was awesome. Cletus ends up dying, which was hilarious. He has this kind of heartfelt speech, and he's like, I'm a serial killer outside of that body too. And Venom's like, F this guy! And eats his head, and it was awesome. But after that, Anne and Dan go their own way, and Eddie and Venom go their own way, and at this point, after 2 movies, they are together. And however quick this movie went by, and whatever you think about the first one, you're still just excited to see the character keep going. If there's a 3rd Venom and a 4th Venom and a 5th Venom, I'll go see it every single time. Take my money and give me a large Dr. Pepper. But if you made it this far in the review, you know what's coming. I know we talked about spoilers at the beginning of this review, but if by chance you're watching this review and you watched the movie and you decided to leave, just right at the end of the movie, you got up and you walked out, which at this point in any Marvel movie, I don't really know why you would do that, But anyway, you're about to get spoiled big time. Because I knew there was a post-credit scene, I knew something crazy happened, and I had my own theories about what it was going to be. But man, the implications of this are just crazy. So at the end of the movie, Venom and Eddie are sitting on the beach, and they have this funny moment where Venom has the sand in his toes, and it's a beautiful little send-off of this movie, and they're off doing their own thing in the world now. And so the credits roll, and there's this mid-credit scene, and it shows them in their hotel room, but it kind of looks like an old, beaten-down hotel room. And they're talking about the universe, and Venom's like, your little mind can't comprehend the insane amount of knowledge that I have. And Eddie kind of just like teases him. He's like, oh yeah, I can take it. And so Venom's like, watch this. And so he closes his eyes and everything starts to shake, and then it just goes to this TV screen. And this TV screen has like this Spanish drama where the girl's like pregnant and the dude's just finding out, and it's like, oh no. And then the TV changes and it kind of pans out and you see that the whole setting has changed. They're like in a La Quinta now or something. And you hear the infamous J. Jonah Jameson, which I'm starting to get chills right now just talking about it. But he's talking about Peter Parker, and he's super animated, and then you see Tom Holland's Spider-Man come on the screen. And at this point, I know I was at an Alamo Draft House, so you have to stay quiet, but I audibly was like, oh! And like, man, like, they're doing it. Venom and Tom Holland Spider-Man, now they are crossing over, and Venom looks at the TV screen, and he licks the TV screen, and he's like, this guy. It's just so crazy seeing Tom Holland show up in this movie. And like I said, I had my own theories. I was kind of hoping for maybe an Andrew Garfield reveal. I didn't think Tobey Maguire was really even possible, even though I do think that both of them will show up in No Way Home. I just felt like if they were going to bring a Spider-Man in, maybe they would use Tom Hardy's Venom to play in his universe with Andrew Garfield, or maybe they would make a 3rd movie of The Amazing Spider-Man. But seeing Tom Holland on the screen was just a game changer. Like, that means he is in the MCU now. And we were talking about this last night. I was just talking about Tom Holland, and there's something about his Spider-Man that does kind of separate him from the others. Like, Tobey is my favorite, no doubt, just because of those movies, and Andrew I really did like as a Peter Parker and a Spider-Man, but I think it's just Tom Holland dying in Infinity War, that scene, that emotional scene, that just got me really good in the theaters. And so anytime I see him now, it's just like those feelings, like seeing him on screen and seeing Venom looking at him, it's just like, it just resonates. Man, I am so excited about the possibilities of what is coming, and I guess we have to wait till No Way Home. I mean, there's so much stuff confirmed, and I'll be talking a lot more about this in the months to come, but I hope y'all are excited because it's about to get wild. Anyway, if you saw Venom 2, please let me know down in the comments what you thought about this movie. What do you think is gonna happen? I'd say for now, try to avoid spoilers in the comments, please. The internet has actually been a pretty kind place about this post-credit scene. Somehow I didn't find out about it. So I'm hoping more people have the same experience, because it's always awesome in the theater to get surprised like that. And once again, if you liked this review, please go ahead and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell. I will be making many more videos here in the coming weeks, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And so thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.
Jones Vibes.